tēnā ra wātu tātou katoa nau mai ki a rāhina rāri ki a rāki tēnei tukinga I Wainganui I te kapa Counties Manukau Jets me te kapa Wellington Orcas mai porirua I roto o te whanganui ātara. Kia ora and welcome to Monday Night League. I'm your host, Te Arahi Maipi, and we're here in Porirua Trust Park Stadium in Porirua, Te Whanganui Ātara, Wellington, for the clash between the Wellington Orcas and the Counties Manukau Jets. And joining me sideline is former Kiwi captain Richie Barnett. E hoa tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe.
Well, Richie, just for judging from your facial expression, mate, what's the conditions like?
Freezing, and as you can see, there's wind coming left to right from what you're viewing, and it was raining quite extensively before, 15 minutes ago. The wind's picked up. Not very good conditions for rugby league tonight.
Well, mate, I wonder if that's going to put any dampener on a hot Counties Manukau Jets side.
3 from 3, mate. They're on fire. The Wellington, obviously, this is their home ground, so you'd expect them to come out firing, but my money's on the Jets.
Well, on the Jets also, they've got a late inclusion with Georgie Gaddis from the Auckland Warriors, New Zealand Warriors, is starting at hooker.
Absolutely. As we know, Georgie's a good player, sound play, he's very creative around the ruck. He's taken the place of Lemeni Moala, and he's been in good form too, so he's going to have to perform well, and the Warriors will be watching this game also. I
mean, obviously he's a quality player, but I mean, like you said, they've won 3 in a row. Could he actually disrupt the flow of the Jets?
I don't think so. He's a quality player. He plays the game that you'd expect from a hooker. He picks the time to run with the ball at crucial times, and that's what you expect from your hooker. But I feel for Lemeni Moala because he's been in fine form.
And besides the conditions, there's also a few issues with the lighting and even also the field.
Yeah, I had a look as soon as I walked out, and the lights are actually quite low. When the ball goes up high, the fullback will be looking straight into the light, so it's not a good thing.
Okay, kia ora wātu mo tērā, Richie. Well, the Tāwara Nico Lee, our league legend and commentator, also got in the sheds with the home side, the Wellington Orcas, and he had a chat with their captain, second rower, Dallas Rennie.
Sorry. Kia ora here. I'm here with Dallas Rennie in the Wellington Orcas changing sheds. Dallas, you're one of the senior players of the Orcas here tonight. How's your preparation been for the week?
It's been pretty good for these conditions, really. Like we had a run last night, which was really windy and really wet last night as well, so it's hopefully going to benefit in our way.
You've got a lot of young blokes on the team. You've got a couple of 16-year-olds playing tonight, a couple of 17-year-olds. What's been your word of advice to them in the preparation for the game?
Really, I've been sort of trying to make them focus on the 2 inches up the top of their head. For me, it's not really anything to do with much preparation at all. It's all about turning up once you're there on the day with the 2 top inches of your head switched on. And yeah, pretty much that's all I've been telling them. That's my way I do it.
The Counties Manukau Jets have been playing pretty well and had a couple of wins. How are you looking at their team tonight?
I haven't really looked at their team. I sort of go out there and we've noticed that they've got one of the Warrior players on there. We've sort of been running a few drills to try and shut him down as much as we can. But other than that, it's just another team out there. If we play our game, we should be right.
Okay, Paul Bergman, your coach, junior Kiwi coach this year, has put a lot of faith in the youngsters. How do you think that's going to turn out for your boys tonight?
Well, they're really good players. They've got a lot of potential, but potential can only go so far as long as you use it, I guess. It's really good having NZIS behind the boys. They're at an academy now and they're sort of feeding our franchise with a lot of good young talent that's coming through.
Dallas Rennie, thanks very much and good luck for tonight's match, mate. Cheers.
Thanks.
Tēnā ra wātu koe tāwira mō tērā. Well, Richie Barnett also got in the sheds with the Counties Manukau Jets and he had a chat with their bartercard cup debutant, Georgie Gaddis.
From Warriors number 9, mate, till the Jets number 9, how's it been all going in the team?
Yeah, it's been a pretty good week, you know. There's a good bunch of boys here and they've welcomed me into the side, so we're looking forward to getting into it tonight.
Mate, the conditions are pretty atrocious out there, mate. How's the game plan structured?
Oh, look, it's got to be simple today and probably look to find the touch as often as possible, running into the wind and, you know, try and keep the ball in play when it's behind us. It's going to be a test and Towns the boy don't get cold, wet weather like this too much, so it's going to be pretty exciting today.
Now, for all our viewers watching, I mean, did you guys have to fly down this afternoon and play straight away?
Yeah, basically, we come down just on the late flight in this afternoon. It was a pretty rough and tumble flight. The stomach's still curdling a little bit, but you know, the boys have settled down and they're pretty keen to have a big game today.
So how have they accepted you into this team? Because obviously Lemon Moala has been playing really well. They've won 3 in a row now. So have they accepted you into the team pretty much?
Yeah, the boys have been great. You know, like I'll probably stand out a bit today. I'm probably the only non-Polynesian boy in the side today, but I think they'll adopt me. I'm Polynesian Islands, Greek Islands, it's all the same, so I fit straight in today, I think.
Georgie, all the best, mate, and hope you have a good game. And obviously looking to impress the Warriors fixture as well to get back in that side.
Oh, definitely. I was very much looking forward to getting a full game under the belt today, and hopefully I can go out and play 80 minutes and play well and come home for a victory with the Jets today.
Best of luck, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Tēnā rawatu koe tāwera. Well, let's have a look at the results from round 11 of the Bartercard Cup so far. The Waitakere Rangers 42-12 over the Northern Storm in Whangarei. The Auckland Lions got back on their winning ways, going up 52-12 over the Central Falcons in Palmerston North, te papa Ioea. The Waikoa Bay Stallions got back-to-back wins, 50-28 over the Tāmaki Leopards in Hamilton. And also the biggest upset of the round with Harbour League going 32-24 over the Canterbury Bulls in Christchurch. But coming up after the break is the Monday Night League match between the Counties Manukau Jets and the Wellington Orcas. It's live, it's free to air, it's Monday Night League, and it's coming to you right after the break. Don't go away.
Monday night when we live it up, yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a sight when they're lining up. Tuesday got me singing.
Kia ora koutou e Tiwi whanui and welcome to Rugby League Park in Porirua Trust Stadium, and an absolute pleasure to be here with you for Monday Night League. Tonight the Jets up against the Wellington Orcas, and as you can see, a pleasure to be with the team again. Welcome back, Richie Barnett. Thanks very much. I feel warm. Okay, Richie, this is an interesting game and a top matchup today between the Jets, who are travelling well, and the Orcas, who have got an amazing amount of young people.
Well, a lot of 16 and 7-year-olds. It's an amazing concept. Faith put in from Phil Bergman, but 3 from the Cannies Manukau Jets. I think you better back a team like that.
And of course, Tawara, the conditions right across the country have been pretty atrocious today, but it's starting to clear pretty well for tonight's match.
Certainly has. The conditions have very improved in the last half an hour, and with the Jets up here. The Jets here, Dale, and keep an eye out for number 9, Georgie Gaddis from the Warriors there.
Yeah, not only Georgie Gaddis, we've got Willie Wolfgram who's come from Aussie, from Canberra.
And also Sonny Fai, who's been named in the New Zealand residence team.
That's a good looking lineup, and as you say, they're travelling well. Keep an eye out too for Dave Hikator, who's been doing some magic in jersey number 1. Let's have a look at the hosts lineup here at Porirua, and as we say, a number of these players, still teenagers, we'll talk of them as the game unfolds, but a few names that you will recall, and Dallas Rennie is one from the West Coast through the Warriors, and now one of the senior figures in the Wellington Orcas team.
Yeah, also Ben Tarika Watcham at hooker. He's going to be having a big game. I've heard he's looking forward to challenging George Gaddis from the Warriors, so it's going to be interesting.
And of course their coach, Paul Bergman, is the current Kiwi junior Kiwi coach. So Artie Clark is in control of this match at Porirua Stadium. Glad you could join us from wherever you're watching. And we're looking forward to what should be a pretty interesting matchup between these teams in round 11 of the Bartercard Cup.
Dallas, ready? On your way in, away we go. On your way in. On your way in.
So underway, and it is a deep kick, and here he comes. The train they call him. What a great bust for an opening exchange. Andrew Tawai with a 20-metre gain.
Oh, great run from the big fella there, Dale.
That's exactly what you want in the start of this game. The forwards to lay a sound foundation, and what better man to do it than Tawai?
Well, they made 40 metres on 2 plays, so this is a good start to the match for the Jets. Gaddis into the familiar dummy half roll, turned back up on the inside. Here comes Talipo Tuifalasai, and he is tackled by 3 Orca defenders. Only 10 metres out from the try line now, and 5 in from the broadcast touch. A little dummy from Gaddis, and then a grubber kick to the end goal. The chase is on. we're just checking to see whether the touch judge calls it home, and he certainly does. What an outstanding set to open this match. And the Jets on fire from the start, thanks to a barnstorming run from their big number 8, Andrew Towai, to get them on the roll. And their try scored in the corner after some clever play by George Gaddis.
Well, Georgie, like I said before at the start of the game, he picks the right time to use that ball. He's very creative around the ruck. As you can see here, big Towai goes for the big bustling run, brushes aside all the defenders, keeps going 30 metres here. He takes it right up to the 30-metre mark. And you can see here they carry this on. And as you can see, little George there with a lovely little grubber. And the number 2, Matai, scores a lovely try. I didn't think he connected well with the ball there, but...
Yeah, we go. Georgie Gaddis from the dummy half. Could have picked up and ran and passed the ball, but instead puts a little grubber kick in. And young Matai goes through to score. Great work from the county's Manukau Jets.
Yeah, excellent, fantastic work there by Jeffrey Matai and also Georgie Gaddis, but also with Andrew Towai. Fantastic start to the match, mate. I would put it even dollar on him to score a try as well. They used him like that against them when they played harbour and wet condition close to the line, so definitely look out for him when the Counties Manukau Jets are in the danger zone, or wahanga mō area of the Wellington Orcas side of the field.
So the try scorer gets a chance to convert his own try, Jeffrey Matai. A sensational start for the Jets. He steadies himself from wide out. Strike to this one won't go. And it's waved away. 4-0 after just one set of 6. And Andrew Towai, what a great return it was from the kickoff. He was stood down for one game after some indifferent form. And it seems since he's come back, he has been on fire. This is Gaddis. Possibly could have gone himself, but did the right thing in the end. And the try... well scored and gets him off to a great start.
To throw one way and then he comes back the blind. But just interesting to note before we start is that there is a slight slope from the right to left on your screen, and the wind is also favouring the Jets.
Not always good scoring early in the game though, Richie. Sometimes you can become complacent, as we saw with the All Blacks did the other night, but just see what happens. I'm keen on seeing how they perform for the rest of the match.
Here's Towai, this time attracts plenty of attention, and that's no surprise. 22 metres out. He plays it. Gaddis feeds left. Good run, although the ball is jarred loose, and we'll get a scrum packed down 30 metres out from the try line. The Orcas with the scrum feed.
And that's what can happen in games with wet conditions. If you run too direct into players, you're best to run between two players, which he did then, but the contact with the ball knocks on.
Tiari, how's the conditions down there on the sideline, mate?
Yeah, as you guys alluded to, the wind has died down a fair bit in the last 10 minutes or so, but it is very, very wet on the fields, especially if you're looking at the Wellington Orcas side on the right-hand side of the field. It's very, very damp, so it's be a consideration for both teams when it comes to handling.
Alejandro Mara takes the ball in well, and this is a strong run as they centre themselves up. 2 gone in the set now. Great opportunity. Back to Ben Taraeka. On it comes now to Mose Masoi. Strong run from the prop forward. Just a couple of metres out. Taraeka turns it on the inside for Taylor Bellinesi. He doesn't get his way through. The former Cantabrian will play it just a couple to the left-hand side of the post and a metre out. Fast board for Leon Boyd. Boyd finds a runner. Dolavai Alvar will play the ball. A little grubber kick to the in goal. The chasers there. It's nicely weighted. But the man who picks that up, Jeff Matai, can't get back out into the field of play. So a good set there from the hosts, the Wellington Orcas.
Yeah, great work there by the Orcas coming in there, and a great kick there by the 5'8" to get it in the big in goals. Quite big in goals here, Richie.
Yeah, that is. You've got 10-15 metres of in goal. So there's plenty of work and easy kicks that you can get there for repeat sets. So good work from Orcas, and let's see how the Jets respond to that.
Stay on side.
From underneath the post, you heard how they travelled today. We got him just a couple of hours ago, so that'll be on their minds as we see Hayden Davis. Powers the ball forward and will play it 25 metres out. Fed on. Another gutsy run from Bellinesi once again. He's halted in his tracks. Andrew Wharton, the main defender. 12 out from the line now. Tareka feeds up Dallas Rennie. Rennie angled run. Plenty of Jets defenders there for the skipper. 3 gone. Tareka couldn't control at dummy half.
Yeah, big let off there for the Counties Manukau Jets. The Orcas seem to be shaping up pretty well. They've got some good young players that are really keen to carry the football. And here we see Tareka just looks out, and the ball's very slippery.
Just 17 years of age, Benny Tareka. A lot of these young fellas are involved in the New Zealand Institute of Sport, where the coach of this Orcas squad is the tutor of the course. So they're really full-time studying sport at the moment. And they'll elaborate a little on some of those 16 and 17-year-old players who are out there as the game unfolds. Back with the Jets. Great strong tackle done by Daniel Mesa in jersey 12 with assistance there from Davis. Gaddis feeds again for Tauai. Tauai to 25, centre field.
Which number's that?
George Gaddis decides he'll send one downtown, and that's a good-looking kick. He did say prior to the match that he wanted to angle it for touch a lot, and that's exactly what he meant.
Yeah, great kick there by Gaddis out of the dummy half area. I noticed the Wellington Orcas, Richie, are playing a very short, condensed defensive line. So there's going to be plenty of yards with both wingers being up short. There's going to be plenty of yards for the...
Probably both sides are expecting to cart the ball up and just complete their sets. Players will notice that, and I think they'll probably look to go wide early on in this half.
Down we go, gentlemen.
Now the Jets. That's the Orcas coach, Paul Bergman. JK coach as well. With the ball on Palaskua, the Papua New Guinean. Some saying he's in the frame for PNG World Cup representation. Adrian Lamb's got his eyes on him. Avois again. Clever little darting run. Gets him just 5 metres inside the Jets half. With the ball, Desta Buchanan.
Well, if you look at those first 3 or 4 tackles, they were both from three out of those 4 sets that come from the backs.
Up to play the ball is Mose Masoy, and wisely giving it plenty of air. At the back, there's a tester there as the Orcas come through. There's a good chase as well from the fullback, Dion Lolu.
Yeah, great take by Dave Hekatoa from the Jets there, Dale. We've seen him in earlier games, and he's got a lot of talent, the young guy.
Formerly Mangere East, and now with the Jets. This far side of the field comes Talivakaola Tui 4, and he will play the ball a couple of metres short of the 20. Gaddis decides to go short side. Stepping back up on the inside too. This is a good run.
Line and hold.
Again, it's Dave Hekatoa. And again, they opt to send it down early. This is Jesse Oapo. And taking it at the back, Dion Lolu from the Petone Club here in Te Whanganui Atara. Paul Bergman saying a number of these young players have already played with him in the national junior competition. Injuries for the Jets, and so it wasn't as if he plucked them out of obscurity into this the Orcas franchise. They've already learned his offensive and defensive patterns that he demands as a coach, so they're able to slide into this team without too much hassle.
Hey, Johnny, I noticed a bit of movement on the sideline there. It's a bit of action down there, is there?
Yeah, it appears though that Talivakaola Tui 4 has injured his arm. I'm not too sure exactly what's happening. It doesn't look too good though. He was clutching at his arm. He's looking a little bit tender on the sideline here. So it looks like Leimoni Moala has gone on the field for him.
Have you got any stats for us down there tonight about these teams, buddy?
Okay, let's see what I've got in the bag here. Well, let's have a look at the Orcas. In their first encounter back in round 6, they actually beat the Counties Manukau Jets 52-34, but since then they've only won once, losing at an average of about 23 points per game, so they definitely need to pick up their effort if they're going to contest with a real hot Counties Manukau Jets side tonight.
Thank you very much, Daddy.
Danny Mesa up to play the ball. Now trying to get some shape about their run. This is given on to Taylor Pelanise. And always pulled back in the tackle of Tauai. Plays it 2 metres short of the line. Leon Boyd, he can't control too well. This will occur tonight.
Very unfortunate from the Orcas there. They laid a good platform there. You'd expect them to come up with something a bit better than a drop ball from the number 7 there from Leon Boyd. Once again, I think they take their eyes off for that brief second, not in that circumstance, but certainly with Tararika.
Yeah, that's twice now, Richie, that they've come up with a bad mistake in a good attacking positions on early in the tackle count.
Leon Boyd, formerly with Canterbury, now playing out of the capital that's fed by Iliaki Mwasi. And back to Hekator. Keen to get involved, Dave Hekator. He hits the line nicely.
Certainly does. He's a busy player. He likes to get involved, and on a night like this where it's cold, you'd want to be.
Marvin Filippo, the Warriors development player, sends it back. It's on out of Lemon Mwala. Some say he would be a little disappointed not to have made the New Zealand residents team. He has been one of the form hookers. But, of course, Shane Byers is a talent as well as the ball comes up in the hands of Leon Boyd. A little error there from the Jets. The coach, Gary Cam, will be disappointed with that as the ball is taken forward again from Alvar. Alvar will play it. 5 out from the line now. Third time in the strike zone. And centering up this time, just a couple of metres away, as you can see. Into dummy half goes Daniel Mesa. It's the live action on the left-hand side. The replay on the right for you at home. Still with the Orcas. Boyd looking for an opportunity. The defence close around him, and the tackler is Sunny Fay. Final tackle. Back to Lolu. Lolu must get it away. Does he realise that? He's held up and we'll have to turn it over. Just checking to see that I had my tackle counts right, but there is the turnover.
Jeez, Dion Lulu wasn't too far off scoring that try there. He looked like he was just going to peek through there.
Try and get out of there.
And now it's up to the Jets to get out of the red zone here. And Sunny Fye comes out with a nice little run there. Look to him to have a big game tonight, because we haven't seen much of Sunny Fye, and he's a player that we have to watch out for.
That's Lolu almost getting to the line. But the ball is back in the hands of the Jets now as they try to work their way out from their danger zone. 30 metres they make it before the tackle is made. They lost a lot of players, the Wellington Orcas, after last year's season. And you think of the likes of Marvin Kadawanda, and you've got Mellars running around with the Australian clubs. Simon Mannering now with the Warriors, of course. So they're breeding some good talent down here in the capital. Up to play the ball to Andrew Wharton, one of the rock-solid members of this Jets squad. Off the boot of Vioapo, and taken confidently at the back again by Dion Lolu. The chase is on, the tackle made by Johnny Vaimanga.
Yeah, good set there by the Jets. They come off their line and had a good kick chasing. And I just noticed that the Jets' kicking game has been a lot better from the last time that we've seen the Rishi Jesse Iapple kicking early in the tackle count and kicking long.
Got to give a rap to these backs for the Orcas. They're getting involved, they're helping out their forwards.
You're over there. Got to roll away.
The likes of Ova, Kua, and Kulavo, I think they really do use the dummy half runs to an effect, and that's what you need from your backs.
Kicking to the far side of the field, they'll restart Feistel at the halfway. Here we see, well, the Andrew Dawai rolled him with him instead of rolling away from him. But clear and concise instructions there from the referee, Artie Clark, who's one of the best in the country at the moment. To play the ball is Hayden Davis. Davis looking for a runner, and a willing workhorse comes forward. That is Misa. Again, to the Aika. Back it comes to Masoi. Masoi through to the 20-metre line, and on he goes. Rolls on, too like the Energizer battery. He is down the ground now, 12 metres out from the try line. Taleka with the ball. Will go himself, the 17-year-old charges for the line, does the business. Great run from dummy half.
Well, what can you say about that? All the good work from Maso Masoi, who's barging run up the middle there. Creates a nice little platform for Taraika. Scores a lovely 4-pointer there. He'd be happy with that. And as you can see there, Taraika again senses there's an opportunity there. With the dummy half not quite in the position where you want them to.
Yeah, as you can see, Richie, the first marker doesn't chase out, and Taraika sees the gap, darts through, and scores just near the uprights.
You're exactly right there, Tawera. I mean, Georgie Gaddis has showed it on one end of the field, but also on the other side with Taraika, and also a lot of their backs. There's a lot of yards to be made right up the middle from dummy half, so both sets of markers on both teams are going to have to work hard to nullify that effect.
But yeah, barnstorming run there by Masoi.
Here's the kick. The flags are up, the extras are out. It is 6-4. The locals, the Wellington Orcas, leading the county's Manukau Jets after a run from 17-year-old Taraeka. He runs with the Baturi club as well. But again, the coach Bergman showing faith in this young talent that he's nurturing at the New Zealand Institute of Sport here in Wellington. It is a pilot scheme which looks like it'll be rolled out across the country too.
Just on that try, Dale, you saw Ben Taraeka grabbing that opportunity, but number 16 for the Jets, John Vaimonga, was obviously his eye was poked his eye and he couldn't see, so he sensed that opportunity and did well.
Yes, and they called that poke eye.
Nice, Tamara, nice.
Another Māori kupu for you. No.
And we'll get into some kupu Māori too, as we have right throughout the season. So that'll give the Orcas some confidence. A smashing run from Marsoy. He will play it now just on the 30 metres. Here comes Misa. Misa's got the ball. In fact, Buchanan. Back to Taraeka. Good mannerage from Taraeka once again. Oh. We'll get another look at that Roman Heffel.
In front of a defender. It's your penalty. Okay.
Well, I should have played the advantage here. What's going on there?
Play advantage. Jess, all I asked for you at the toss was clean play the balls. Okay, when the guy went to play the ball, Andrew gave him a shove. Clean play the balls, Jesse, is what I want.
Exactly, man. I don't know what's going on. Look, he's pushed him in to play the ball.
That's a good run there from Ben Taraeka. It's a pity he couldn't play advantage on that one.
Well, it was a shocking play the ball as it turned out, wasn't it? But they can consider themselves somewhat lucky. The ball's played by Dallas Rennie. Here comes Mas. In fact, it's Kalanise. Once again, he gets the ball jarred loose with a good hit from Vaimonga. Back it comes for Hekatoa. Turns. Tries to turn defence into attack. Hekatoa to ground now, 28 from the line. Feeding up now, Lemoni Mwala in the chair. Now Gaddis is there. Gaddis pushes him aside. It was more familiar role for Lemoni Mwala. This is a strong run too from Gaddis. Another 12-15 metre gain.
Nah, you're offside.
Not back to 10 metres, so more meterage, easy meterage Tawara.
Yeah, easy yards for the county's Manukau Jets there. And just picking their times and running out of the dummy half. See, George Gaddis was there and Lemoni Moala. They're both fighting for the dummy half roles.
Well, I tell you what, all the number 9s are playing well tonight. Lemoni Moala, obviously a number 9, George Gaddis, and then you got Ben Taraeka.
Watch out for the big Mack truck to come charging onto it, Dale.
Well, isn't this is where they use him, although he's on the bench at the moment. Gaddis, you are poor. Opportunities! And unable to take advantage of those opportunities that present themselves to Falasei. Puts the ball down close to the line, the chance goes begging for the Jets.
Wow. Have a look at here, Jesse Iopo, checking the source in the situation here. Grabs the ball and a pass there, and it looked like he could score here, but drops the ball.
Yeah, Gary Kimball won't be too happy with that. You won't get too many opportunities when you're attacking the line where it's the big free running front rows will score.
Boyd feeds up. Gets it out to Kulivo. The tackle is made there by Rasi. Boyd to dummy half. Good run again from Misa. Getting himself involved is Misa. In the Upper Hut Club. Starting to run. It's the Dick early. 25 out from the line, the Orcas.
Johnny, not too
Now also, as Dale was saying earlier on, with our Kōrero Riki, we're going to revisit one of the more popular ones that we had earlier on in the season, and that is Kai Tohu Tohu, playmaker. Now, Tohu Tohu means the order, or the direction to direct, and also, so like any good halfback or standoff, a good playmaker, that's what they are, Kai Tohu Tohu, playmaker.
Tēnā koe, thank you, Te Arahi. To the back it goes now, and taken by Jeffrey Matai. He sent us up and is tackled just short of the 30-metre line, Jets into the ground. Dummy play there and then scooped upon by Iliakim Uasi.
12 hands off.
The Mangere East Club, Gaddis. Gaddis now for Wharton. Wharton on the far side.
12. Moment 2.
Filippo will play it And again, good runs from dummy half, turning it back on the inside for Wharton once again. Gaddis choosing his times to take the ball in hand and push his team forward. Uasi back on the inside for Hefall. Roman, B-ball pass to Wharton. Fifth and final as you hear Adi Clark, 23 from the line. Gaddis again, the grubber kick, nicely weighted, big in goals, bounces okay. And the Orcas are forced into touch dead in goal and will restart from underneath the post. Dion Lolu had nowhere to go.
Yeah, it certainly was a great kick from Gaddis again. Looked up, looked down the short side. I just think the option is to run it. There's quick hands, 2 or 3 passes, Richie down the short side. Their defence is very condensed, the Orcas, and they're not looking up to the short side to carry and play on.
Exactly. The short side seems to favour the Jets, especially with a guy like George Gaddis, because he sees that. He's a good player, he's a smart player, and he knows the opportunities are on the blind, because they were short a couple of times there. All they had to do was pass it.
Tackles are low.
The restart takes it out to the 40-metre line, and then with the ball, Vaimaunga. Big Johnny tackled 22, centre field. Spread deep and wide, both sides of the field. Iwapo with it, turns it back up at the inside. He finds Sunny Faye. Faye will play. I thought he was tackled. He isn't. It's with the centre three-quarter. It's with Leo Faliono. Quick play the ball. Got to go. No. Ball jarred loose in the tackle. Hit him in the arms. Spilled the beans. No try for Sunny Faye.
Well, you would have thought he'd score that, wouldn't you? But when you got a guy like Dallas Rennie who comes up with a beautiful tackle, knocks the ball out of his hands here, and Sunny Faye twice involved in this set of 6 here. As you can see here, he pops a lovely little ball there. Nice little step there from Faliano. And who's there to receive the ball again? Sunny Faye. But he drops the ball. Good tackle here. Beautiful tackle.
A jarring tackle.
No.
So the Orcas, well, they've been having to do a lot of defence in the last couple of sets. They're camped on their lines. They've just got to keep their head and their composure about them. I'm sure that Paul Bergman would have said you'll be tested many times by this crack outfit that are coming off 3-0 in the last few weeks.
Yeah, great run there by the loose forward Davis, and the big strong run. The Orcas keep it very simple coming out of their half. Scoots from dummy half, from the centres and the wingers, just to get the quick yardage though.
15 metres in from touch, broadcast into the field. PNG on the boil.
He's a big, strong lad. Now,
Ariana Mara is tackled 6 or 7 metres inside the Jets' half. Tareka with the ball. He will get it back for Boyd. Onto the boot with Boyd. Sends it downtown. The bounce is sweet, and it finds touch on the far side of the field, 20 out. Let's go sideline with Tarahi Maipi, and we're interested in the wind factor here, Tarahi, and we're also, well, a little bit pleased that it's you enduring it and not us.
I bet you guys are, but in terms of the wind, it's a funny old wind. It gets up, it picks up, it dies down. I mean, 10 minutes before we were ready to kick off, it was quite strong behind the backs of the Jets. It is still there, but at the moment, it's a not very strong wind.
24 minutes gone, 6-4 the scoreline to the Orcas. Well beaten last week by the Canterbury Bulls, who were surprisingly beaten this weekend by North Harbour League. Going against form on the table. As we say, the Jets last week came from behind to secure a good win in the curtain raiser to the Warriors match at Ericsson. They knocked over the Tamaki Leopards. They seem to have come off the boil somewhat too. They suffered a fairly big defeat too with the Waikawa Bay Stallions. With the ball now is Tuefala Say. He manages to offload it with pressure on. Sunny Faye with the ball. And a good tackle from the wing. Comes in, this is Mali Kulevatu. 5 inside the Orcas half. Iwapo with the ball. Powerful run. Unfortunately, couldn't hold on to it. Tuefala Say, and the Orcas will get possession 40 out from the
some good runs, but also the defence has been strong too. They're coming up with some good crunching tackles, the Orcas.
Yeah, Phil Bergman will be very, very impressed with these youngsters out there, giving some good defence. And then we see it again. Great hit there. And jars the ball loose. I think both coaches will be pretty happy with the efforts from both teams early on. And the conditions, it's been a really good game of football. And pretty entertaining.
Boyd turns it unexpectedly to the right-hand side of the field. But the Jets defenders are there in numbers.
Go!
To snuffle the attack. With the ball now is Kuleva. A couple of metres short of halfway. Mara will run himself, and is well collected there by Uasi. He gets some assistance as well from Tuefala Say and Wharton. Fed up to the replacement on. This is Paul Rudman. The University Club. 32 from the line. The runner is Rennie. And a good strong run to a very committed front on tackle performed there by Louis Faleono. Boyd stands it high. Clever thinking from the young halfback. Up and down. It came back in the hands of the Orcas. They couldn't turn it around though and push it back. So
no advantage.
Well, they've kicked it up to Limini Moala there, and he's a short bloke. Normally plays number 9. I think there was a good, well-directed kick to someone who doesn't normally play on the wing.
Yeah, good option from the Leon Boyd. As we say, the ball's going straight to Limini Moala, and Richie's brother comes across and knocks the ball on.
Stand up, Marvin.
I think we've all got a soft spot for Papua New Guinea. It's great that they love their footy up there.
Oh, yes, they're very, very passionate about their rugby league, those people up there, and especially in the Highlands, Dale.
Let's see too many PNG players in New Zealand. A couple this season in bartercard, so good luck to them in World Cup selection. Gaddis again, directing play. Decides to kick early and deep. The ball bounces end over end and will sit up pretty much on the try line. At the back is Buchanan, takes it forward. Boyd goes back to dummy half. That's him with the football now. Gets it onto Laulu. And Dion head down. Charges at the defence. Roman Hiffo is there to halt him. Boyd again, dummy half, keeping busy.
Get your arm down.
Warnings and back play from the referee about high tackles. Comes to Alejandro Mudder. Mudder plays the ball. Centre field 30. Rudman again. Rudman's fresh legs. And they called it Oriki for fresh legs. I remember that one coming on a couple of weeks ago there, Tony.
Waiho. Now, Paul Rudman was a guy that I thought had been played extremely well in the first half of the season with the Bartercard Cup. I thought he might have been even with a show for the New Zealand resident side, but I've been really impressed with their 3-prop rotation. All 3 of them very physical. Not that big of guys compared when you have a look at guys that they're going up against like Andrew Towai, but they're definitely meeting the Counties Manukau Jets at the line.
You're watching Round 11 Bartercard Cup live on Māori television, the home of New Zealand Rugby League. Here is Hekatoa once again. Hekatoa with a busting run, and he is away! Jamie Hekatoa slams it down for 4 points and did all the work himself.
Yeah, so that's what I used to love seeing, is you get down from a scrum and then there's the wing or the fullback scoring a try. What a great try, Richie. This reminds me of you, actually.
I tell you what, this is what you love about being a back, when you can get the ball and you can go in and away, use your speed to get outside your men, and he did that very well, David Hekatoa. Well done.
Yeah, there is a... There we go, Richie.
Let's have a look here. A nice little pass out wide, and he goes within and away, gets around the Papua New Guinean, slides off the tackle. 2. No, why not make it 3? 4 points there. Well done.
Yeah, good work from Hekatoa. As we see, gets the ball. Jesse Iapol dummies on the inside. Hekatoa fakes to go inside, puts the gas, steps on the gas, and then big fend. 3 players, try time.
It's just a wonderful try. Dale, you mentioned that before, mate.
Well, look, I like the way he injects himself into the line. You did it a bit in your career too, and I recall,
actually,
Rich.
Gary Kimball will be very impressed with that, you know, being a fullback himself and actually seeing the fullback score try. So I think he'll be very happy with David Hekatoa at fullback.
But apparently we haven't got many fullbacks in the Bartercard Cup to select from.
Yeah, well, I hope Ivan Cleary's watching, because he said there's nobody in the Bartercard Cup that's up to it. Mate.
Running angles and doing the lines. Look, I just want to invite you to also join the Boil Up, which is a review of Bartercard Cup. Thursdays 10:30. And you'll get action from all the games. The kick is one of the worst seen, not just at Porirua Park, but anywhere on the globe. It's a shocker.
I thought he was going in the World Cup soccer. He was going for under the goal, not over the goal. Have a look at this.
There we go. Look at the replay here. You got to give credit to this guy, because he just made this look easy. With the art eye there, a feut art eyes. Fens.
Heck of a player, Mr. Hekatoa. That's good stuff on the tally. Absolutely fabulous effort. 8-6. Tight match. 30 gone. The form books would have the Jets taking this one out. Richie Barnett tipped them before the game to win it. They've got the wind as well at the moment. So there's Towai once again.
You're right. They not only got the win, but I think this field slopes from right to left on your screen. So they've got pretty much a big advantage in the first half.
See, that's what footballers look for when they arrive at a track, to see if there's any slopes. Far side of the field, the Jets. Well, this is good meterage being made. Already 7 metres inside the Orcas half. And playing with confidence. Dummy from Andrew Wharton. He's a solid workhorse, is Wharton. Kekator comes into dummy half. He says, well, I've done well once, let's try it again. The Jets winding themselves up. Gary Campbell came into the coaching role with the Jets in awkward circumstances. There's a grubber kick that finds its way to touch a couple of metres out from the try line.
They're just on again to get us. If there's 4-1-2 there, just quick hands, bang, 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 down the short side there. You have a look at the replay. Geddes gets up, he looks up. Maybe it's just a quick hands here, Richie.
4-on-2, mate.
Here we go.
As you can see here, he opts for the kick, but certainly on there. Look at
3-on-1.
3-on-1.
It's just a quick hands unders ball.
Keep them in, Jess. There we go.
I think that's probably something that Paul Bergman will definitely be addressing come halftime, as the blindside defence on the left and right side both been exposed on a few occasions.
Now the Jets wind themselves up for a shot at the line through Gaddis, turns it on the inside for Towai. His nickname is the Train. 150 kgs, plays it back now. Big opportunity for the Jets. And it comes now for Wheel. Apo and Hector gets munted. But bounces to her feet like a brave footballer he is. Here's Wharton. Wharton looking for the spin. He can't get in. Hector got hammered.
Oh, go!
Oh, wow, that's what they come to watch footy for. Winding up again this time. Number 10 all the way, not this time. To ground, just a couple of metres out. Fifth and final tackle. Now with Gaddis goes, Gaddis scores. That quick. It looks simple, but he's been playing many years to know when to do the dart.
He continues to do it, and I said that at the start of the game. He will take any opportunity that presents itself, and Georgie did it then. But I love the work that was done beforehand. They went to the right, they came back to the left again, and then straight to the middle, where George took the opportunity to score under the post.
And here we go, the seaweed from the scrum here. The upset. The Orcas lose the ball from the scrum. It's just picked up straight away by, I think it's one of the front rows.
Tuifalasai.
Yeah. And then the ball comes back, get us, bang. No markers on the line there, Richie. You've got to have 2 markers or 1 marker. He goes to the right. Rudman steps right. Tarek is on the left. Try time. And like you said, all the 9s are having a great game.
Well, there you go. The 9s, it's all 9s tonight.
It's all 9s. The 99s are getting smart. Dave Hector looking to add the extras here from right in front. Dave hit that ball up strong too. That is successful. The scoreline stretches out to 12-6, 14-6 with the kick.
And the man on the screen there, Georgie Gaddis, is having a fine game tonight, clapping his compatriots.
Well, I'm sure as coach Ivan Cleary will be watching the game to see how Georgie Gaddis' form is tonight. Maybe he'll be looking at the fullback at the same time.
And congratulations to Ivan and the boys. A good win over the weekend over the Roosters. Well done. Georgie Gaddis, he'll be trying to force his way back in, of course. And certainly did himself no harm in that regard.
But there was a big hit on Hector there, Dale, by the number 16, I think it was.
Toa winds up. Must be an ominous sight, seeing him coming full tilt at you. But the defence, brave. I just want to get away from their danger end. This is the ball that Iwapo sends to Dave Hector. He comes really on the boil. He's powering through, and then bang, he gets hit by Ben Matalino.
Never played it properly, got it from the touch, Judge.
Who I might add, the number
He's only 17, isn't he?
Yeah.
Ben
Again,
Matalino, I think he's only a young kid. 16 years old he is. So a big hit from the big hair, the big a la Willie Mason.
Great opportunity now for the Orcas. They get a scrum feed. 22 metres out from the try line. That's the 16-year-old, the guy with the big hair. 16. Keep an eye out for a great run here. This is Mata. Aleana Mata gets him right in front of the post, 5 metres away. He plays it back for Laulu. Laulu gets it on now for Parker. And the Orcas itching to get across the line. Up to play the ball is Matalino. Laulu snuffled with a good tackle by Tuifalasai. Now it's back with Mata. Once again, feeds it on for Boyd. Boyd, the floater over the top. Out it comes to Kua. And then misdirected.
Wow, disappointing really not to finish off that superb set of 6 there. And Murray had a handful there. He's been instrumental in the way that the Orca's been playing tonight. And as you can see, Akua throws a nice little ball, probably a bit too hard, to the number 2, Buchanan, who drops it.
Plenty of learning, plenty of potential in this, sort of reeks of potential, doesn't it, this Orca's outfit?
It's been a good game tonight. I've really enjoyed watching these two teams contest against each other.
Marvin Filippo, wisely, just a conservative hit up the middle of the park. They're in front on the board. 14-6. They'll want to play it down, keep that scoreline unchanged as Gaddis plays the ball. 42 out from the line, short side they come. Back to Sally Faye. Faye can't control it. Did he try and pop that back? I think he might have. Now it's out for Faleono. Out of one, Faleono. Hot stepping. Last tackle in the set. Will they run it or will they kick it? Gaddis decides this time. It's a nicely weighted bomb and taken at the back very well as well. Referee says was taken to the field of play and taken back.
Yeah, good option there from Georgie Gaddis. A good kick right onto the field of play. Richie on the last tackle. Here he is, gets the ball, bombs out just outside the 20. Let's have a look at the little Mara. Oh, that's a pretty close call. I thought he might have been in goal.
But actually before
Wait for
that,
Dallas, Leon. Wait for
just
Dallas
before
to get
that, George
onside.
Gaddis once again went to the blind. All Sonny Faye had to do was pass the ball. Quick ball, and they would have scored again on the left side.
So good vision, George Gaddis. You'd expect so, having played in the NRL. But he's certainly making his presence felt this evening.
It keeps you honest. I tell you, we're in the ruck, anywhere on the paddock, it keeps you honest. You can't go to sleep for one minute.
Jesse Apple will play the ball. Mandarewa player, back to the inside, Towai. Now this is when he's dangerous, or where he's dangerous. Matanino, equal to the challenge, the young number 16. Short side they go, and exposed somewhat the Orcas. The hot ball is out, that is great handling. Round the back door, Gaddis with the wide ball to Hekator. Trouble up the middle, Hekator sees an angle, takes the hit, offloads, Towai. And back it comes to Oasi. Oasi up the inside, Ioapo. Well, talk about hot potato. Andrew Towai, get away from me, young fella. Finally, the play comes to a conclusion. 10 to the right-hand side of the posts. Towai now back with Uasi, and the forward pass. Only fractionally, but enough. We read it from here, so did
Well, good defence from the Orcas, mate. The young blokes there kept coming up in defence, but the Jets just kept popping the ball out, offloading. Some good skills there. Oh, what a great game. Here we go. On a forward pass. Uasi onto Talipopi, and Talipopi just mistimed his run a bit there.
Do we fella say it? Just slightly in front.
It's come around. Right. As soon as it goes in, Leon, put it in. Wait for train. Now.
Wait for train, did he say?
Wait for train. He knows all the nicknames, doesn't he, Artie Clark? And with the ball comes Ashley Parker. Ashley Parker plays for the Randwick Club, another of these young sensations that Paul Bergman is trusting with the Orcas' future.
Good run there from Desta Buchanan. Grabbing 15 metres there.
Lolu, Boyd. And it's put down there by Court.
Yeah, Leon Bird trying to force that pass there.
Yeah, but he just had a look out a bit further, Richie, and through the cutout ball. There's plenty of options on the right. As we see, here he goes. Boyd comes across dummies. Just hits, the ball goes behind him. If he misses him and hits someone on the outside, there was a big hole.
Did tend to hit him in the shoulder, though, so he could have laid it down for him a little lower. Only needed a pop ball. Iwapo now. Out wide they come. This is Faleono. Good tackle from Ovar. As you can see, 23 metres from the try line. The Jets, we count down towards the half-time break. And we get a look. 4 tries scored. Towai needs to be closed down. He is 18 from the try line. With the ball, Gaddis. Gaddis has been dangerous all half. Iwapo turns it up on the inside, and again, Tuifalasai couldn't hold on to it.
Seems to be a big play here for the Jets. Here we go, 40 minutes gone.
Well, there you go. There's the first half of action coming to you live from Porirua Trust Park. The county's Manukau Jets with a 14-6 lead over the Wellington Orcas. Stick around. We'll be back to review that first half in just a moment here on Māori Television.
be a hell of a sight when they're lining up, we lining up. It's gonna be a hell of a sight when they're lining up.
Welcome back to Porirua. 14-6 the scoreline with that team in control of the football at the moment. David Hekatoa, the fullback, has been outstanding in that first half. 3 tries to 1. But the Wellington Orcas, well, they've got a lot of young talent, and it's going to be interesting to see how their fitness levels are tested at the back half of this match. A lot of big forwards in that county's Manukau Jets outfit, Tawara. And, you know, there's a chance these young guys might be able to wind them up.
Yeah, certainly has been very good for the county's Manukau Jets, making some big yardage. And our United Video Player Profile sees the big man Andrew Towai, the big train. He's been training up that field tonight, making plenty of yardage. Big, strong, robust and explosive. And that's why they call him Andrew Towai, the big train. Making plenty of yards. And our United Video Player Profile for this game tonight.
He's had a fine first half. None better, I guess, than his huge run off the kick-off to start the match.
Certainly has been very impressive.
Here come the Wellington Orcas.
Now for the Orcas, we have Ben Taraeka, who once again early in the first half scores a beautiful try there, senses a great opportunity, and for a young 7-year-old, he's got the goods.
7-year-old?
17-year-old, I said.
Oh, my goodness. I thought for a moment that they really plucked him.
Right foot step, left foot step, and a right foot step. He's got a good tackling technique, right into the ribs there, drives him back. Once again, another good tackle. So he's not scared of the hard work. He gets in there and he has a go. So that's what I like about this young 17-year-old.
A couple of good United Video Player Profiles there for you, Andrew Towai and Ben Tareka. Artie Clark's in control of the match. He's done pretty well, although a couple of dubious calls there in that first half. We'll wait and see how things unfold now as the kickoff has taken the second 40 underway. 14-6 and work to be done by the Orcas. Well, that's Towai with a good tackle to start off his second half, as he did the first. Started off brilliantly. The tackle made by Paul Rudman for the Orcas.
Go.
He filled the tackler. 14 is Michael Lealava.
Hold here, hold, go.
Boyd goes to dummy half. Rudman again. A willing worker. Gaddis downstairs, Towai upstairs. 40 out from their own line with the Orcas. Fed out by Lealava. Back to Boyd. Decides to send it downtown. A bounce straight into the midriff of Dave Hekatoa. Dangerous with the ball in hand. This time finds no way through the tackle made by Ashley Parker.
Yeah, good set from the Orcas now to start the second half. Very, very simple coming out of the very half. 3 or 4 drives and early kick just to get some good field position.
Go.
Dummy half is Gaddis. Working forward, we'll check through in a moment with Tari Maipi. He's been checking out the corridor from the changing sheds at half-time, but first we'll watch this set unfold. Big tackle made on Marvin Filippo. And the tackler there is Olympus Kua. Gaddis onto Uasi. Back up on the inside to Falasei. Fifth and final tackle now. We've seen Gaddis kick a number of times through that first half and will do the same to start the second. And that gives us an opportunity to go sideline with Te Arahi Maipi. Thoughts from the changing shares, Te Arahi?
Yeah, first of all, with the county's Manukau Jets, Gary Campbell's message was very, very simple. Keep the sets, maintain the ball. Ball control was key. Keep hammering out their sets of 6, and they want to be playing the football down in the Wellington Orcas end of the field. Now, I'll just say on the injury report, Tali Whakaola Tuifua, their big winger, he did dislocate his shoulder, but they said they popped it back in, bit of Panadol, and hopefully he should be back on the field in the second half. But for the Wellington Orcas, Paul Bergman, it's very simple. He said that the Counties Manukau just were making too much yardage up the middle of the field, so their compressed line needs to man up and just have a little bit more structure in the middle there. And on the motivation side, he said, "You look, boys, if we win this match, we're 4th place, we're in the top 5." So he's just urging his boys just to wake up.
Thanks, Tarahi. Nice report. Appreciate that. Alejandro Mata with the ball. Some good meterage gained there by the number 6. So now 30 metres out, the Orcas start to wind themselves up, but that ball goes literally to no one. At the back, it's taken there by Matulino. He'll play it. 5 inside the Jets half with the footballers, Pelinisi. He meets his opposite number in Towai. And a collision ensues. The quick play of the ball. Back it goes to Lealavar. Onto the boot of Boyd. Boyd tests them at the back. The bounce into the knees. And then well taken in the end. This is Tui foot. No, did I tell a lie? The Jets with the ball.
Stand up. Let's go.
That's Moila. Rowan Hefall, he's been busy. Matalino, 16, making the tackle. Gaddis now, short side. He's good at it. Marvin Filippo with the ball. Came from behind by Opalaskua.
Well, once again, it was short. Their short side was there to grasp the opportunity, but Lemony Moala, who's playing on the wing, wasn't up with it then. And another try gone begging, in my belief.
Yeah, it just seems to me that they don't have a specialist winger there, Richie. They've got 3 players on the bench, but maybe just having Lemani Moala there on the wing, for me, it's a waste of a space. They should have a finisher there.
Was the position you'd least expect to find him in, talented though he is.
Well, you think they'd push him in further into closer to the ruck.
Orcas need to hold the ball. Buchanan does well for his squad and his coach. Hekator, one of the danger men for the Jets. Out of dummy half comes Lolu. Lolu comes up 5 short of halfway.
Yeah, go.
You're watching live action from Bartercard Cup Round 11. Live on Monday Night League here on Māori Television, the home of New Zealand's Rugby League. Hope you've been enjoying the coverage so far this season. We'll take you all the way to the finals. Number 8 is Taylor Pelinisi once again. On the 5th and final tackle now. Dummy half is Lealavar. Misses Boyd with the pass, but it does pick up Mata. Mata gets the ball jarred loose. At the back, Kua. Kua keeps it alive. Pops the ball and is picked up wide. And a 0 tackle. Dion Lolu put under unnecessary pressure. Towai.
Once again, I think the Orcas from dummy half throw some very ordinary passes and nullify the end of the set there, and they'll be really disappointed with that.
That's the stuff we come to watch. Dallas Rennie, West Coaster. They breed them tough down there on the coast. Good powerhouse running here from the Jets, getting themselves into good position. Appealed for the penalty to Falasay, but referee Artie Clark says it was his error. So the Orcas will get the scrum get the chance to feed the scrum on their 20-metre line.
As you can see, Lemony Moala comes in and does a bit of work around the ruck, passes that ball. He tries to get up here, right between his legs. Well, 50-50 there, in my mind.
Yeah, it could have gone either way there, Richie, but I think it's the onus is the big 16, number 16, the 16-year-old tries to jump out. Taylor Poppy tries to get up to play the ball, but knocks it on there.
It's a little bit too soon. Boyd takes it from the scrum base, comes on to Opalaskua. He takes it to the 30-metre line. A reminder, if Bartercard Cup tickles your fancy, new show starting Thursday night. Boil Up on Māori Television, reviews the Bartercard and checks out the local rugby league scene. Tune in 10:30 Thursdays.
Just get up, play the ball. Play the ball.
Well, he asked the same of the opposite team a few moments ago. And this time it's the Orcas that make the indiscretion. Don't play the ball properly.
Yeah, Artie Clark's been very clear tonight in the game. I think he's, as you said earlier, Dale, one of the best referees in the Bartercard. Very clear, concise instructions from Artie, so I think everyone can understand that.
Well, there wasn't much in that. I don't think there was a penalty. Shouldn't have been a penalty, I think. Try to get up, play the ball, get on with it.
Tend to agree with your summation there, Mr. Barnett. Back up on the inside comes Andrew Wharton. Wharton puts the big arai together. Coming at him is Paul Rudman.
Stand here.
So now the Jets, well poised. Tuifalasei gets away from one and putting pressure on the second. Towards the line, gets a little bit of extra effort coming in from behind as well.
Don't die, Stu, don't die.
Matai coming in behind. Now that is a good pass and a clever little piece of work. The Jets score a try on the far side. They thought they had the numbers out wide, they didn't. and they made a difficult situation look very easy.
Yeah, they certainly did. And once again, it's that man, Georgie Gaddis, on the short side. We talked about it all in the first half, Richie. That Sunny Fai scores a try, I'm sure. You, eh?
18-6 is the scorelines. Sunny Fai being the scorer. Richie Barnett, Gaddis spotted that, didn't he? This is the early one that set it up. It's to a fella's say, I thought that he was going in there when he got some support from Jeff Matai. Comes in from behind. That was pretty close, Rich.
Yeah, but here we go. We see Georgie Gaddis. There's a bit of good long ball and powerful Sunny Fai just over in the corner.
Funny enough, if you look at it, it was 3-on-3. He passes the ball. The defence just doesn't come up. Allows him to go over for a try.
Just that basic awareness of knowing your player. I mean, they're definitely manning up in the middle, and that was the directions of Paul Bourbon, but again, it's their blindside defence that is letting them down. It's just that basic awareness. So you're exactly right, Richie. It was 3-on-3. They had man on man, but just a slow reaction which led Sunny Fai on the outside.
You just can't for 1 minute sit there and wait for the player to come to you. You've got to move up.
Especially on your own line, Richie. When you're defending on your own line, you can't sit on your heels and wait back, because the momentum of the attacking players will always take them over the line. You've got to come off your line with a bit of speed.
Especially when you've got someone like Sunny Fai coming at you.
Well, as Stelda says, if you're standing there, you're never going to stop them. I think we've seen it with Gaddis too from under the posts. You've got to step forward and put pressure on them. From wide out, David Hikator. Good pictures, strikes it nicely. Eventually it sort of fades across the face of the goalposts, and the score remains 18-6. Still a very good lead for the Jets over the Orcas. What have these Wellingtonians got in store as we see another look at a simple play, ball beats man?
Yes, great play there. And I'm sure Gary Kimball, the side's won 3 in a row now. They've got a lot of confidence. You can see the way that they're playing tonight. They're actually going through the motions, completing their sets, getting to the kick. And when they get down there, they're just doing the little things right, Richie. So, Gary Kimball instilled all that stuff into them. So I'm sure he'll be very pleased with the way his team's playing at the moment.
Absolutely, Taylor.
Fairly understated sort of coach. He's not one to scream and shout that I've ever encountered anyway. And when he took over this team, as I say, in awkward circumstances at the start of the season, we knew that Counties Mankah had a great depth of talent. They just needed somebody who could mesh it together, and Kimball's starting to do just that.
Well, that was a good run there from Martin Filippo. He gets 20 metres there for his Jets teammates. 7-3 on the line breaks to the Jets.
With the ball now, the Jets building in confidence as the minutes tick by. Here's Gaddis, gets the offload, back it comes to Tauai. Tauai still manages to get it away. Roman here for with the ball, wide they come, and Filippo gets hit by Buchanan but keeps going. He will play the ball now. Fifth and final tackle. Jets, they just scored. Gaddis tries it again, but this time the kick not quite as sharp as what we've seen from him in the first half. But a predictable ploy somewhat from George Gaddis.
I think a good ploy there, Dale. I think he's tried that probably one too many times tonight.
Yeah, he probably knows he took the wrong option there. Richie sort of option would have been better to go to the open and have an open side field kick. And Georgie put his hand up and acknowledged maybe it was the wrong thing.
Hayden Davis plays the ball. Now, what have they got in store? Need a little surge from Ashley Parker and the like.
Another 17-year-old.
Out of dummy half. This is Kulevo. Kulevo almost gets the break. Loses his strides, but that doesn't worry him. Mudder comes up with the football. Mudder gets the pop pass, but unfortunately, Levo wasn't in much better position to take it. Here's Boyd. The cutout ball over the top cuts everyone out completely. I can see where Boyd was thinking there, but in the end, just didn't quite get to the hands.
Yeah, as we see the ball comes out from Boyd, he looks to the inside, looks for the long ball, a bit of vision, but geez, I don't know. I thought the winger could have had a go at that.
It was actually Talavai over. Number 4.
Yeah, just the Wellington team don't seem to be too expensive, Richie. They're just going one off the ruck. There is opportunities on the outside for them, but their backs just don't push up further enough, I don't think.
No, you're right there, Talbot. There are opportunities out wide, but they're just not completing the passes. They seem to go astray at the right times.
Well, Paul Bergman, prior to the match, he sees himself very much as a developmental coach. He's the Academy Director for the New Zealand Institute of Sport. He has 25 full-time young fellas running around with rugby league studies, but it isn't just rugby league that they study. Physiology, nutrition, all of these aspects as well, preparing them for life as professional footballers if they're given that opportunity. Another knock-on from the Orcas, and the Jets will feed the scrum about 8 metres into the Orcas half. Let's go sideline more Koreroriki with our good friend in the Kautari Maipi.
Kia ora rā, our Koreroriki for the second half is peke taha, which is sidestep. Now, it's quite a literal translation. Peke means to jump, and taha means to the side. So in league terms, sidestep, peke taha.
Kaioko, Taraki Maipi, tēnā koe. Short ball, short side. 14 with the ball. This is Willie Wolfgram. Wolfgram back into the Jets' colours. Ioapo with the ball. A darting run gets him into position. 5, in fact 10 metres from the line. 2 to the right-hand side of the post. This is Wolfgram again. Gets it onto Hefor. Hefor puts the fend on, has an arm free, so he uses that arm, and this will be a 4-pointer.
No, we were going held up.
No, well, referee Artie Clark was right there. I thought he might have hit the post. I really thought he had to go in there.
I thought Uasi was in there for a 4-pointer.
Certainly was a bit of a piqueta from Uasi there. He was doing a few of those.
On the whistle.
And Artie Clark says bring it back, play the ball on the whistle.
Tackle 4.
There you go, tackle number 4. So still 2 hits at it as Uapo decides to grubber it through, but it doesn't work out. It does work out for him. Artie Clark says, well, we'll go on with it. Because Hayden Davis, well, he
never played at it.
Didn't have it clean. This is Uasi's run.
And I tell you what, it looks like he's gone over the try line here.
Well, now with the pressure onto the back, it's Dion Laulu, and under the post they go for the restart. The Orcas getting put under pressure here by the county's Manukau Jets.
Exactly, Jesse Iopo here taking the ball by the horn and getting some nice little kicks there, and I can tell you what, that is a try on the line, and if it doesn't hit the line and it hits the pads, it's still a try too.
Yeah, pretty hard call. Artie Clark was right there on the line when he made the call, Richie, so might have a better view than us where that post was.
A squirting kick might be a description as he forgets it. That's a solid defensive piece of work too, again from young Ben Matolino. And eye off the ball, Willie Wolfgram. Willie's just been back for just a few weeks.
Willie Wolfgram there, it's Iro
Tariki, excuse me. Willie Wolfgram back. He'll be on a little bit later in jersey 14.
Stay in the scrum, Willie.
And for our audience who've heard Willie Wolfgram before, he's played for Tahoe back in the 90s, and he moved over to the Canberra Raiders and did a lot of his time down there. He spent 6 years there.
With the ball there is Amara. Wolfgram, you'll see jersey 14 with the headgear. 17, Iro Tariki.
Go.
And that ball, again, as the player hits the deck, ball gets jarred loose, and coming up with it is Willie Wolfgram. Movement on the bench. Jeff Matai scored the first try of the match this evening here at Porirua in the first set played after the kickoff. Downstairs with a good tackle is Paul Rudman.
Hold. Go.
Gaddis, dummy half. Uasi keeps it alive for Hekatoa. Always dangerous. Turns it back on the inside for Filippo. Filippo gets it back now. It's on to Tariki. And the dual defensive effort.
Go.
Puts the replacement to ground right in front of the post. Still, the danger has not subsided as Wolfgram sends it wide. And out wide with the ball and having it go for the line. It's Faleono. Full goal on the set of 6. Familiar territory for the Jets. Sadly, familiar territory as well for the Orcas. Grubber kick to the end goal. Again, pressure on Dion Lowley. He has an opportunity to get out in the field of play. It would be great if he could, but he can't. And we'll start again from under the post. And a back-to-back set of 6 again, putting more and more pressure onto the Orcas.
Yeah, great kick by Iapo, and that's what I talked about earlier. You know, County's Manukau Jets just seem to be doing the little things right, not scoring a try, putting the pressure on them and getting another repeat set of 6. So good work by the Jets. But once again, Laulu under a lot of pressure and done very, very well too, Richie.
No, you're right there, Tawara, and we don't have to score off every set, but repeat sets, I tell you what. 6 tackles, and you add that again to another 6 tackles, and that's more pressure, and it fatigues the side. So they're just wearing them down.
We'll be doing a stack more tackling in the last little while. We'll get a little total tackles in a second or two, but at the moment, within the 20-metre line, Gaddis gets the ball played back by Tuifala side, takes a run himself, whips it out to Wolfground. Wolfground to Hekatoa, who toes it into the end goal, and that one goes dead. Finally, I thought they'd have a ball, but an indiscretion and a penalty.
He could have pulled out.
Yeah, number 16, I think. Let's listen to the referee. What's he said? Could have pulled out. But I think it was Motalino put the hit on David Hekatoa. We might get the replay on this. Just have a little look.
Well, 18-6, a sensible move here from Hekatoa to take the 2 points and just give him that buffer.
Absolutely, and Hekatoa, he's a fairly good kicker, and you can see the Artie Clark laughing away.
And here we go, the replay is Hekatoa comes through the line, puts a little kick in. Motalino, ooh, gee, comes up with a big shot, the right-hand shoulder there. Good hit too.
Ooh, Hekatoa would have felt that one for sure.
And as always, Artie Clark there to see that. Gives the Jets 2 points, and an easy 2 points at that.
He's a resilient sort of character, isn't he, Tiana? Hekatoa's taken a couple of big hits tonight, but he almost bounces back up.
Yeah, he's tough as nails, this guy. He steps, I don't know, about 100 times every time he gets the ball. And yeah, no, he's gone up against Matulino a couple of times now, and that doesn't seem as though he's come off second best either time. But just for the Wellington Orcas, they need to be very wary around about this time. Now, we know that the Counties Manukau Jets have won 3 in a row, but they've scored 40 points per game in each one of those wins. So this is definitely a danger time. They need to pull them back, otherwise this could end up being a blowout.
Tari Maipi. Some pertinent observations from the sideline here at Porirua Park. Hope you're enjoying the coverage live on Māori television as we await a penalty from Dave Hekatoa to extend the lead to 14 points and to make it more difficult for the Orcas to stage a comeback. This young man's got plenty of ticker though, Tawari. You'd like his style. I mean, he likes to play it rugged and he'll take on the big guys. This is, he's only 16 years of age, Ben Matalino.
Yeah, no, obviously got a very big future. Keep an eye on that kid. You know, can tackle, carry the football, and got a bit of mongrel in him too, Dale.
It's always a good trait. You went short of a bit yourself during your day, I must admit.
I think with the Wellington Orcas, regardless of what happens tonight, if they can keep the core of their players, they're in for a bright future. Remember back at the beginning of the season, they won the Scotswood Trust New Zealand National Sevens tournament, and they also come second in the highly prestigious St Mary's Sevens tournament over in Australia as well. So they've got a good crop of young players who are definitely a very good, talented footballers.
Tēnā koe, Tara. As we see again the Jets applying the pressure immediately from the kickoff. Offloading, keeping the ball moving. Comfortable to try a few things. And you can once you've got a comfortable lead on the board. And there's an example, the pop ball late. And back up running is strong. Uasi. The ball's turned over though and it comes up in the hands of Mata. So the Orcas need to counter-attack and do it quickly.
17. Wait. Your man's in front.
Yeah, great passage of play by the Jets there. So into passing, Gaddis from dummy half, for the gap, big tailor Poppy on to Uasi Kimi, and then Hekatoa just couldn't manage to control the football.
Thanks, Malcolm. Sonny, bring him to me. Jesse.
And Artie Clark says, too many players nowadays, Rich, want to referee the game. Like that ball there were so many guys disputing the pass that they allowed them to run an extra 10 or 12 metres.
Just on that, Dale, well, that was a terrible pass, throwing it forward there. And I tell you what, he wouldn't be happy with that, but you're right. And I know Artie Clark, and he does not like that at all.
Come up there.
Back to a ref, not a good thing with Artie Clark.
Yeah, he doesn't like it at all, and you know he's finding some teams are just so involved with arguing the toss that he says, you know, to their disadvantage, because he really just wants them to get on with the footy. He only wants to speak with the captain anyway. So he turns off when he hears criticism from other players. This is Hekatoa again. Wonderful game so far from the fullback.
Jeez, it's been great to watch the Jets just throwing the ball around, getting on the outside, popping the ball back. And here they go again.
Yeah, just the Wellington Orcas, just defence. The one-on-one tackles, they just seem to be missing. I'd like to see the missed tackle rate for the Orcas because there's a lot of arm grabbery, not too much shoulder work in there. By the over with the tackles here, 225 to 202.
Short side and danger now for the Orcas as they start to build in confidence even more. The ball has gone out wide, and this is out to Faleono. Far side of the field. I think the referee checking. He'll talk with the touch judge. We'll listen.
Okay. Wellington player tackled him. Okay, he threw it back.
Yeah.
Had a Wellington player, so it's still play on. Picked it up and scored.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, just what they didn't want to happen has occurred for the Orcas. Tarahi was saying that, they're used to coming strong in the later stages of the game. We're into the final 20 minutes, and they're doing just that. Far side of the field, and the try has been scored out wide.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right there, Dale. I remember going back to the game when they played the Canterbury Bulls in Christchurch. I mean, that was their Achilles heel, was in the second half, but they've definitely picked up that facet of the game where they are just punishing teams, and as you can tell, as I said before, they're averaging 40 points a game in their last 3 wins.
Well, let's go back to this try because you've seen Sunny Fire with a nice flick pass straight to Faleano. He busts through the line here. He passes to Sunny Fire. Sunny Fire goes in with his barging run, flicks a pass out to Faleano. And I'll tell you what he does. He flicks a pass and it hits Orca's hand there.
And it's play on.
And it's play on to Matai with his second of the night.
Yeah, but just a bit of a query on the pickup from Matai there, Richie. I don't know if we'll get another look at it, but there did seem to be a little bit of a knock-on from Jeffrey Matai as he just went to pick that ball up. I don't know if we'll get to see it again.
Well, we want to, because the touchy on the far side of the field was unsighted, and of course so was Artie Clark, the ref. He checked with the touchy. The touchy says it was good. We can see quite obviously on the replay that it wasn't, but that's footy. And this is Dave Hikator from wide out. Steadies himself. He'll be looking to slot this. Doesn't come around. Our kickers tend not to be able to curve it as much as you see overseas. Maybe it's because we don't grow up playing soccer.
Here we go. Here's a look at the ball. He flicks the ball out the back. It's knocked on by the Orcas player, and as he goes to pick it up here,
there's the knock on there.
Is that a knock on?
That's a knock on.
Of course, it's a knock on.
What do you reckon, Richie?
That's a knock on.
That is a knock on. So obviously the touch judge was unsighted there and couldn't see the ball, but he did knock it on, so probably wasn't a try.
Yeah. I agree with that finally.
I do.
Yeah.
Tackles are low, guys.
Here comes Tauliki.
He might be down sideline, mate. The weather conditions has changed from right to left as the wind died down.
Yeah, it has completely died down. To be honest, it seems as though it wasn't as cold as it was in the beginning of the game. But for the players, no doubt that won't have an effect on them. They'll be all hot and sweaty by now. But in terms of the wind, no, there's none to speak of at the moment.
24-6, the scoreline. The Jets. Here we go again with the Jets out wide. Faleono, he's been strong on the second 40. The ball's been jarred loose, though.
No, Jesse. No control.
Speaking of Jesse Uapel, the captain of the Counties Manukau Jets.
Yeah, just the Jets are sort of starting to open up a bit more now, Richie. They've gone to play wide. Here we go, the ball goes out wide. Faleono, the centre, he's played pretty strong, just got the ball knocked out and didn't have no control there. But they are chancing their arm and throwing the ball a bit wider and playing a more expensive game now.
I've been really impressed with Faleano and Filippo too, the centre pairing. They've been really strong.
Total with his game, the Jets making that figure climb.
Straight through.
There seems to be a lot of coaching to go for the ball. I know, it's illegal to strip, but it certainly isn't to sort of bang it out. So if you're going to make a tackle and you're going upstairs, well, why not go for the ball?
You might as well make a collision around the ball because it's going to pop out in conditions like this.
Lowly. Tackled, 35. I'm sure the Orcas will want to put one on for their people who've come out to support them tonight. But again, that ball is either slippery or the boys just, not in the frame to wrap it up tight. It's gone to ground many times off the Orcas as the Jets set themselves once again for another set at them. Gaddis steers it back up on the inside, turns it inside. He's had a good game. The former North Queensland Warriors player, that's him with the football again, holds the pass up. That one is jarred loose from Sunny Faye, and with the ball comes Kulevo. That's a strong run and something the Orcas fans will be wanting to see, have been waiting for. Terrific run, Tarahi.
It's one.
Well, that was a fantastic run there from Kulevo, and he's been very, very good for this the Orcas side. Georgie offside there.
George, get out, Willie, get out.
But look at this. Watch this bloke go. He's been playing fine all game.
Don't lift.
Grabbing yards.
George.
He ran about 50 metres there. Beautiful run.
I'm sure he's only 16 years old too, Richie. Another young kid.
Kulevo.
Certainly an exciting team for the future.
Yeah, it's great. The potential here is enormous as we see once again a very talented rake. Bentaleka with the ball. Been somewhat quiet in the second half, but that was a good run. Gets him into good field position. Just 5 metres out from the try line. It goes through the hands of Boyd. Boyd with the cutout ball wide, and that should pay dividends. And it does! The try is scored. Eventually, Daniel Misa goes in for the 4-pointer after a great cutout ball from Boyd.
Yeah, great lead-up work here by Taraika. He's just come back on the field, Dale. That's why he's been very quiet. He's been on the sideline, but a good cut-out ball. Great ball from Boyd.
Well, we did speak about Boyd with his passes, long passes, because they were quite, if you look at it, the Jets are quite compressed. So what happens? Leon Boyd, which that didn't happen in the first half, it went astray, but it certainly found the man in Daniel Misa, who's had a very, very good game as well.
Yeah, here we go again. Boyd gets the ball, goes to the line, has a look, cuts out 2 players, straight into the hands of Daniel Misa, and the big second rower is just strong enough to get over the line.
And Boyd looks to add the extras. That's a good-looking kick, and it raises the flags. Leon Boyd. He's threatened to do that a couple of times with a long ball, and this time it does go well. It finds the hand, and it finds the scoreboard as well.
Well, we could be in for an interesting finish here with 2 minutes to go.
Taonga Puoro.
Ko'owo, is it?
Ko'owo.
Well, it wasn't a McDonald's.
Kia ora. Interesting thing to do at the footy. Taonga Puoro, right to be played anywhere. Kick-off time and deep it goes. Now, the Orcas, 24-12. Work to do. Running it late. Just on 11 minutes to play. Taraika will want to drive them down there forward quickly. Ready. To the 35. Slowly get up. When it comes now to, well, the young hitman, I suppose we could call him, being Matalino, likes to muscle it up the middle. Taraika, ready. Floats a nice ball out wide and picks up Davis.
Oh, should have given the ball.
Tackle made. With it now is Mara. Good dummy. Marahanda. And it allows the Jets to come forward and push him back a couple of metres. He'll play it 35 from the line. Boyd, once again, decides for a midfield bomb. Done as good as the chase. Other chase is there. The bounce ain't so flash. Back it comes. And it's still the 5th and final tackle.
Knock on here. Got a handover.
And is it Taraika?
Try
it's gone down.
Back where he is.
Taraika.
Yeah, that's what happens, Richie, when you put up those big bombs, and it was a bit of a big swirling bomb. And
look, we're Niners.
Oh, Boyd put a big kick up.
I think what happened there was exactly what you said early. The lights quite low, and Dave Hikatoa was absolutely unsightly, missed it by a foot and a half.
Exactly right. I noticed that when I walked out in the paddock early on before the game, and I noticed that the lights were low, and when the ball goes up, all you can see is the shining bright lights.
Release now.
And saying that, it's great that we've got a lit venue where we can play footy out here in Porirua. As that is sent well downtown. Laulu, he's been put under a lot of pressure, hasn't he, Tawara? Throughout the game, and again will find himself in that way. He'll be lifted up and perhaps even taken back over the line, but Laulu will play the ball.
And he's handled it well too. The pressure that's been put up on Laulu, he's brought that ball back under pressure.
I've been very impressed with his play tonight, and he's got involved with everything. Always on the spot, and he saved 2 or 3 tries for the Auckland
too.
Desta Buchanan takes the run, and now it's on to Ombalas Kua. Kua will play the ball. 3 players haven't gone too far. And as that Rennie took his eye off the ball, it certainly comes the way of the Jets. This will result in a 4-pointer out wide, will it? Ooh. Not this time.
20. Good call there from the linesman.
The run was from Marvin Filippo.
Yeah.
Have another look at that and just a touch.
There he goes.
This is our hitman again. Goes downstairs.
I was diving for the try line, but actually stopped them from scoring the try, and that's what the touchy had to do, the old hurdle over the top of him. But good work from the touchy. He was spot on the mark.
Well, as a defensive coach and you're watching that, you'd ask questions. Either that or he wanted to see what sort of boots he was wearing.
I wouldn't question his tackling ability. He's been pretty strong all night, the big number 16 for a young kid. He's done bloody well. And once again, the Orcas put the ball down.
Yeah, it's actually been on out wide, to be fair. To the Orcas, there's been opportunities out wide. They just seem to, when the ball goes wide, they drop the ball. So,
as Paul Bergman, the coach, said, you know, they could have drafted in older, more experienced players. They are around the Wellington region. And I think we see North City and Randwick perhaps leading the table in the local comps. But he said, what's to be achieved from that? Here is a team that, you know, can hold their own for the next few seasons. And I don't think at this stage he'll be too disappointed with what they've done tonight. And certainly watching them, I think there's a lot to like about the Orcas. Be good if they can hold their heads down and keep this scoreline, or don't let the Jets score again, put it that way. Here's Walton with the ball to the 20-metre line. Gaddis again with dummy, goes short side, and as I speak, an opportunity presents itself. Marvin Filippo couldn't, or didn't, hold on to it, but it certainly opened up and gave him an opportunity there for a moment.
Certainly has been down the blind side all match, you know, for the Jets, and they've taken the opportunity. Gaddis has only been back down there. Here he goes, picks the ball up, short ball out to Moala. Moala goes through the tackle, gets the ball free to Marvin Filippo, and Filippo just drops the ball, just happens to
Plenty to like about Gaddis' game tonight too, Rich.
Absolutely. Once again, a little push there from the Orcas, nearly get the ball back.
No, I called it. Kimmy knocked it on back here. George, back up, George. George, back up here, George. Back up here.
I like to see tight heads every now and then, but sadly, you know, sometimes they're so unusual, they're checked by the referees.
My belief is that you push hard, it makes it very uncomfortable for the other team. Why give it to them that easy?
There's defence from Ovar. They haven't given up, and that's commendable.
Well, the young team's done very, very well, and as you said, Paul Bergman will be very happy with his young players, and this is definitely a team for the future.
Here we go again with Motilino.
Yeah, fine. Here.
After the weekends at the New Zealand Institute of Sport, these young players do pool recovery, yoga, and they really are taught to look after themselves. So, as I say, they've got bright futures. Boyd dishing it out wide, keep it alive, might as well, run out of time. Hot potato, out it comes to Kua. But Kua's immediately halted his toe says no further. 32 minutes out from the try line now. 24-12 the scoreline. Boyd with the ball, works it to Davis. Davis pops one out the back door. Skillful play. Round the back comes Rennie. Rennie chips into the end goal, but there to take the ball is Jeff Matai. Matai will play it on the 10-metre line.
Good attacking opportunity there for the Orcas. Maybe Rennie should have went through the hands. He still had 2 players on the outside. The wrong option there for me.
That's dominant. 2, here. 14!
There's the overall tackle count. And pretty even again, but that's a high tackle count. That's higher than we've been seeing in the bartercard Cup in recent weeks. The guy's getting off the track fast, getting the ball played quickly. Though, as I say that, a little delay in play. Andrew Walton. Well, she's on and back play. Walton and Rennie. That's Tawai we're watching here.
Andrew.
A little bit of a fisticuffs there.
Yeah, better bring back the biff.
Let it go, fellas, break it up. Yeah, I've got it, George.
Oh, certainly one player got a good shot and at the corner of my eye. I saw a good straight right going in.
Out here, out here, out here.
Unnecessary though. It's been played in pretty good spirit right throughout the whole night.
Yeah, it certainly has been. It's been a good game from both teams.
Just sense that the Orcas just couldn't get field position
Not
to
on
score
you,
the tries, and when they
Doodles.
get into position to score,
Come here,
they drop the ball.
Dallas.
It's in the background.
See, Rennie throws a punch.
Copped a good one too.
Top the right hander there.
There it is from the play of the ball. No.
Just listening to referee Artie Clark.
Which we have been all game.
Okay.
But his battery's a little bit flat there.
Dallas stack his hand down. You threw the first punch, Andrew. Excuse me. No, he didn't. You threw the first punch. Okay, and that's what started it. Okay, so the penalty's going. Jess. Dallas didn't throw the first punch. Andrew did. Okay. It all comes down to discipline. Hey, take them off, blood bin. Take it off, blood bin. Okay? Dallas. You're captain no more. It's over here. You're captain. It's over here. Wait, we're waiting for a
Yeah, a bit of
blood
claret
bin.
there. Nothing like seeing a bit of blood in the match, boys. Some very exciting stuff there. A couple of punches through, but no harm done in the end, I think.
Unnecessary though, I think. Yeah, no harm done. Although we don't know what's happened there with teeth or noses, but they've played in pretty good control. Dallas is the skipper as well, and so he shouldn't have got himself involved.
Johnny, get out of there. Stand.
Richie. 6 years. Here's Rennie.
Joe, stand up. Hands off. George, popping at it.
15 out from the line. Rennie plays the ball. Last roll of the dice here for the Orcas, and we're looking to secure a 4-pointer. More respectability to the scoreline, which has looked pretty good.
I called 3. Fellas carried on. Full penalty.
Wait. Crowd not so happy with what occurred. Quick tap taken. Charging run now. Here we go. This is Musi Masoi.
One there. Stand up.
Well, certainly has fired up the balls for the last 5 minutes anyway, Dale.
Murray goes in the dummy half. He'll go to Boyd. Boyd's got a runner on the inside. Doesn't use him. Gets chased. Harangued. Wide. He gets a nice ball. Opportunity on the far side of the field. Big effort again from Kulivo. One of the standout players from the Orcas. A dive from dummy half. Probing.
Go.
Another shot from the dummy half. Dive over.
No.
Referee Clark was there. This is
Out here for 4. Out here for 4. Out here for 4. Come on, mate.
Yeah, he's disappointed. He thinks he got there.
13.
Well, as a
13
player,
on the
you know
10.
when you've gone over, and I reckon he's touched grass there. There you go. That's a try.
A couple of debatable calls through the game. That is a shocking pass. Tapped along though. Scooped up at the back there by Michael Lealava. At the back. Running out of players. Scoop and regather. Out it comes from Matalino. 5th and final tackle. They lost 20 or 30 metres on that. Nothing else but to kick. And at the back there, Hikator. Put the footy gloves on. And then he is claimed. Great play from Dave Hikator tonight. Once again, very, very impressed with his play. His toe weight. It's been a handful.
Dominant! 2 hold!
As he counted down to the last minute of play. 14-6 was the scoreline at half-time. And so the Orcas have done pretty well to keep them in check. As Taudahi said, they normally rack on a few points in the second half, so pretty strong showing from them, Taudahi.
Yeah, exactly right. Wellington have done a good job, especially in the second half of the second half, I guess, in the last 20 minutes of the game. But just on the Jets, I mean, they've won tonight, so it looks as though they're going to go 4 in a row. They've beat the Leopards. They've stayed pretty close to the Lions and the Bulls, losing both of those games 12 and under, and that was before they seemed to have got themselves sorted. So definitely heading in the home straight for the for the finals in the Bartercard Cup. They're definitely going to be a force to reckon with.
Yeah, certainly are. I agree with you there, Tiatas. You know, their team's growing in confidence each week, and with a great coach like Gary Kimball, I probably think one of the best coaches in New Zealand at the moment. You know, they're going to grow in stature as the season commences and as semi-finals approach. They're just going to get better and better.
You know, they've got the geographic drawing area and a strong showing from the county's Manukau district. The Jets, in the end, too strong. 24-12 they win the game, but some outstanding performances across the park, and not just with the winning team. There's number 9, George Gaddis. He had a big, strong game. That fella's 16. You'll hear more about Ben Matulino. Plenty to like about this Orcas outfit, and just down by 12 points in the match. A very big effort. In saying that, the Jets come to Porirua. They got what they came here to get. That was the 2 points. They go into a huddle and a karakia to celebrate a victory, a hard-fought victory, but a well-deserved victory as well. At the end of 80 minutes, 24-12 was the scoreline. We'll be back to sum it up and talk to the captains right after this break.
Be a Monday night when we light it up. Yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a.
Well, it's round 11 of Bartercard Cup here at Porirua Trust Park, and an entertaining game of football. The young guns from Te Whanganuiata are coming up against County's Manukau Jets, who had 3 wins on the trot. In the end, the Jets came away with the victory by 24 points to 12. But Taura Nico, there's plenty to like about the performance from the Orcas. We'll see better from them.
Yeah, it certainly was, and Paul Boodman's got a great side there. Some young players there did very, very well. Young Tareka played very well, and also young Ben Montalino had a bloody huge game.
Yeah, we're going to see plenty of them. Gaddis steered them around the park well. He slotted into the Jets almost as they've been there all season, and first game up with them.
Yeah, played very, very well, Georgie, and picked his times and knew when to run, and obviously came away with a few tries there too.
Well, on the sideline there to talk about the match is Richie Barnett, and Richie's got with him the captain of the Wellington Orcas, Dallas Reddy.
Well, Dallas, mate, they're always going to come up a side against the Jets, who have won 3 in a row, now 4. Always going to be tough.
Yeah, for sure. When you coming into this game, it'd be really tough with them having sort of back-to-back or 3 wins beforehand, and us sort of coming off a pretty hasty loss. But full credit to them, they come out and did the job, and yeah.
Well, you look like you were concentrated on around the ruck area. You looked to go wide, but you dropped the ball quite a few times.
Yeah, it was pretty slippery out there. Maybe we should have sort of tried to stay a bit more tighter, a bit more condensed. But yeah, we sort of let ourselves down in that department.
Well, you're going to get another game next week, mate, so I wish you all the best for next week, and maybe a win under your belt next week.
Yeah, cheers, thanks.
Dallas Reddy there, a little bit disappointed, obviously, but as we say, a lot of encouraging signs from his young players. Jesse Wapo is the winning captain from the Jets. He's sidelined with Richie.
Jesse, congratulations on the win, mate. Pretty good performance.
Yeah. You know, we've been working all week on just completing our sets and working the edges, and we thought that was a weakness that they had, and you know, we exploited it a couple of times. We had tries out wide, so yeah, it went good.
Yeah, you look to go wide quite often. A lot of your work was structured around the middle, and with George Gaddis on the side, he looked like he could. He's shown his ability there tonight.
Yeah, it was good to have George out there. You know, he's got a quick pass, and you know, he's coming from NRL, so it's always good to have a professional there.
Your kicking game was extremely good tonight. A few repeat sets there.
Yeah, it's good to have George out there. You know, he probably got us most of the repeat sets, so yeah, it's good.
Well, congratulations, Jesse, and 4 on the trot. Well done.
Thanks.
Jesse Wapo, and they certainly are becoming a force. They're into the top 5, and we can expect even more from them. We've got a couple of talented players sideline. One of them in particular is just a youngster, 16, at the New Zealand Institute of Sport here, and his name is Ben Matulino. Keep that name on your lips, you'll hear plenty from him.
Ben, at the age of 16, mate, how'd you feel out there?
It was a good game. Big boys. But yeah, congrats to them.
Mate, weather conditions, how was it out there?
Oh, it was pretty slippery, yeah.
So you've obviously your hairdo, mate. Your hairdo's quite a busy sort of a thing. Do it reminds me of Matua Parkinson or Taura Nico back in his day?
Oh, yeah.
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 Well done, mate. It was good to watch you. Your defence was extremely good. Well done.
Thanks.
Well done.
More hits than words from Benny Matalina. Good luck to him. Let's have a look at the tail of the tape here, and as you can see, busy in the tackle count, although surprisingly close together. 266 against 263, 22 from 32. Not a bad stat for Counties Manukau Jets. 25 from 34. That also is pretty high.
Yeah, but the offloads for me was a big thing. You know, Counties Manukau Jets 18 offloads to the Orcas 8, and also we can see the penalties against, but the tackles. If you look at the tackles, they're pretty even there, but you know, no field goals either there, Dale.
No, as it turns out. Certainly 5 tries to 2 though, and that's the telling factor. George Gaddis had very much a hand in the outcome today. He's sidelined with Richie.
Well, absolutely. George had a lot to do with the outcome tonight, but he would be used to this kind of weather anyway.
Yeah, you get plenty of this up in Townsville. They call it Drysville, where I'm from, mate. It doesn't rain, so it's a bit different today.
Mate, your performance around the ruck, I mean, that's your game. It was really good to watch, and I think you made a huge difference to the side tonight.
Oh, cheers, mate. I was just really looking forward to getting a full game of football under my belt today, and the boys really helped me out a lot today, and I had a bit of fun, so it was good.
I mean, is that your type of game that you like to create around the rucks? Keep the defence honest.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think I've played most of my football playing 80-minute games, and you know, I think when you're on the field a bit longer, you start to get the feel of the opposition, and you know, that was my goal today, just to keep them honest and take my runs when they were there, and you know, a few things went my way. I was happy.
Well, certainly you did that, but what are your thoughts on the competition, the Bartercard Cup?
Oh, mate, I think it's outstanding. Look, that young guy there, Ben, you know, they're the future of New Zealand Rugby League. I couldn't believe he's only 16. You know, they're honest young guys. They get out and they run hard, and they've got plenty of ability. So, you know, it's all looking well for the New Zealand and the Warriors' future.
Well, on that performance, mate, I hope the Warriors were watching, because it was an outstanding performance, and I wish you all the best for your selection next week, mate.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
Well done.
Obviously a likeable bloke. George Gaddis
there, George
slotted in well. And, you know, was able to provide them with plenty to go forward and plenty of momentum. Let's have a look at the table as a result of this weekend's play. Well, the Auckland Lions have been dominating that table since the start. One hiccup, but of course back into their winning way. Bit of a logjam there for 3, 4 and 5, Taura, and that makes it interesting for us at home. And Harbour League, Waitakere Rangers have come up with some good results this weekend. So, you know, it's still going to be very interesting how this unfolds in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it certainly is, mate. And within those 6 teams there's about 2 points. So you're looking at 2 wins and you're back in the top 2 or 3 teams. So it's really interesting for our rugby league, and it's great for the Bartercard Cup. Like George Gaddis said tonight, you know, there's some awesome young kids here.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Hope you enjoyed the game from Porirua. On behalf of myself, Tawara and Richie Barnett, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next Monday night. Let's go to Tarihi Maipi. He's going to have our Purupuraki. We'll see you next week.
Hai, tēnā rawa atu koe tau. Lara ko te kapa Counties Manukau Jets ngā manu whiri ko rātou. I wiki tōria I tēnei pōrua te kaumāwha ki te kaumārua ki runga aki te haukāngara te kapa Wellington Orcas. That's right, Counties Manukau Jets triumphant 4th in a row, 24-12 over the Wellington Orcas. Now next week we'll get another taste of the Counties Manukau Jets as they go for 5 in a row when they take on Harbour League at North Harbour Stadium in Te Raki Pai Whenua over in the North Shore. But also don't forget to tune into Māori Television on Thursday nights, which is your sports night, your sports channel on Māori Television at 8 p.m. 8:30 p.m. is the Code, the best sports show in New Zealand in Aotearoa. And then 10:30 is the premiere of Boil Uppers, where we review all the action from round 11 of the Bartercard Cup and also have a look at the upcoming week in round 12. Engari, mai tātou katoa, I roto o Porirua, te whanganui ātara, mō whakaata Māori, tēnā rawa atu koutou katoa, pō Māori, nā hora mai.
It's gonna be a Monday night when we line it up. Yeah. It's gonna be a hell of a sight when they're lining up. Tuesday got me singing the blues. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Got me heating up. Māori television for y'all. Yeah. They're running straight with the ball. Grab your remote control. What? They're gonna hit 'em high, hit 'em low. Throwing it down for rugby league. Best believe it's about your team. Go deep with your company. Everybody holler back, y'all. Me, what do you mean? It's gonna be a Monday night when we line it up. other side when they're lining up. It's gonna be a Monday night when we live in